So one guy that I know, he's about 65 now, and he's always loved shit like that, like big, heavy bikes with like the 6-cylinder engines and stuff, like the big cruisers and that. But yeah, some people busted into his neighbour's house a while back. And they out near the bakery actually, over the road a bit. And I filmed for a short part of one of the videos I done. There was some police, some cops went into that street, and I happened to be just out there doing a video, rambling like I do. And this was going back a while too, like probably 4 weeks now. And anyway, so he's the one that's always loved all these bikes and stuff, but his vision's a bit impaired and whatnot, and he's kind of probably a bit overweight too, and his age and stuff. So like doesn't really ride motorbikes anymore, so he's into electric scooters and stuff now. But anyway, the story, legend has it, like some bikies were in town, and the cops weren't happy about it, and they fucked them off, like, and that later on. And then there was all sorts of things happening in Canberra that week, and there was a break-in next door to this guy, and they went in there with a chainsaw. Like, after they busted into his shed and got the fucking chainsaw, they sawed the fucking door down, right? And this guy I know, the one that has all the electric scooters and stuff, he's like, what the fuck's going on here? You could hear this noise. And then he just simply rings the cops, obviously, and says, I don't know what's going on. I think I might be hearing a chainsaw. And they show up and no one's there, but it was a chainsaw. They found the chainsaw and all this sort of stuff and bits and pieces in the park nearby, and all these, like, because they were old people as well, and there was stuff like sewing machines and all these kind of semi-collectible things that probably didn't sound like they were worth a ton of money, but somewhat, borderline antiques to some people anyway, but still nonetheless just valuable to the people that fucking, owned them. And it just really sucks, doesn't it, when you hear about people's houses just getting broken into like that, like when they're not home or whatever, or asleep for that matter. I'm not sure what the story was. I'm sure they weren't home, because like I said, the guy that I know, the next door neighbour, rung the cops anyway. And yeah, and then the guy that lives on the corner, the reason I know is because the guy that lives on the corner, he's my mechanic, and he just does work on the Commodore and also on the work van as well. So like, he was doing that and changing the spark plugs, and that's what we do. Like, and he collects heaps of cars and stuff. He's just got cars galore in his backyard, a hoist and all that sort of stuff. And there's a fair bit of noise going on and shit like that. And so that's the conversation we were having in the backyard there while he was just changing the spark plugs on the work van. And he was telling me what's been going down lately in good old Narrabundah. But that's how it is. It just doesn't change. There's always weird stuff happening in the Bunda. It's a crazy place. As long as I'm not involved, they don't really bother me, because I've been around there for such a long time anyway. They just kind of go, oh yeah, that guy, fuck, whatever, the baker, But like, yeah. Anyway,